Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Green Chick Gardens. I'm Jesse, and today we're going to look at the top 10 rarest philodendron in my collection. Let's go. All right, so coming in at number 10 on our list of rarest philodendrons is a princess, but it's not the white princess, not the pink princess, not the fire princess. I'm sure there's more princesses I'm forgetting. It is the orange princess. And this is called Orange Princess Galaxy. Actually, don't know if there's technically a difference. It's just got much more variegation than some of the other orange princesses that I've seen, and it's got beautiful, beautiful patterns there. When the newest leaves come out, they look, very dark orange, and then they start to fade a little bit, but they'll stay relatively orange as they continue to grow. It's a very pretty plant. Kind of new to my collection. I haven't had it for too awfully long, but I do really like it, and it really catches my eye when I'm walking through looking at all my plants. It's the color is definitely unique. In my collection here, don't have too much that kind of eye-popping orange red color. It's a very, very pretty color, and I recommend this for anybody who's into collecting philodendrons. It's very pretty, very easy to grow, decently quick grower. Most princesses are, and it's decently rare, I would say. It's not hard to find, but not easy to find either. But this is the orange princess, and we're going to rank it number 10 on our rarest philodendrons list. All right, next up at number 9 is a plant that is pretty new to the market. We have an original non-variegated one. We actually made a video about propagating the Periso Verde. Um, just because they're leggy, the one I had was extremely leggy, and I put two stems on the same pole, and I eventually just got tired of looking at it because it was still so leggy. So I chopped it up and I threw all of the cuttings into this pot. You can see it's exploded with growth. And if you know the Periso Verde, it has a very pretty leaf color as it ages there. Those green variegation looking colors there. It's very pretty. Um, and so that's the just original standard Periso Verde. We have today an Albo variegated Periso Verde. So it still has that green, minty kind of look as the leaves mature, but it also has a nice, beautiful white variegation going on there as well. This one is a rather variegated Periso Verde. You can see there, quite variegated. This is a very pretty leaf right here. I really like this leaf. If they all look like that, it would be beautiful, beautiful. There's another super variegated leaf. Um, this is why I'm making this the rarest list and not my favorite list. Periso Verde is not one of my favorite philodendrons by any means. It grows super leggy, and there's just really no way to fix that. It's just what it does. I don't like that look. It looks empty a little bit, I would say. I have this one growing, 4 or 5 inches from a light, just trying to get it as much light as possible. And it's still leggy. This one, same way, it's already starting to become leggy. You can see these newest larger leaves are really starting to spread out there. It's just what it does. Some people like it, some people don't. That's okay. But that's why this isn't my favorite. This is why it's the rarest. This is a harder one to find still. And it's a very unique look, especially as you get that older look. You're going to see these minty green pattern variegation along with the white pattern. So you kind of get a double variegation pattern there. It's very pretty. I will say that. Just not one of my favorites. But that's why it'll come in at number 9 on our list. While we're at it on Periso Verde, I forgot I also have the Aria variegated Periso Verde. This one again is super, super variegated, and so it's a bit of a slow grower. But if the whole leaf had this color with that variegation on it, I think it would just look great. But most of the leaf is variegated again. This was the newest leaf, and that one's very pretty. I like that one. And then the newest leaf coming in again. seems to be pretty darn variegated, so we'll see. It's a slow grower, but I just thought I'd add this one in while we're on the topic of Periso Verde. So we have the regular Periso Verde, Albo, and Aria variegation of this plant. So there we go. All right, number 8 on our list is one of the new philodendron hybrids, and it is the Florida Beauty cross with the tortum. This is a beautiful, beautiful plant. I love the tortum, one of my favorite philodendrons. And this is the cross with the Florida Beauty, which also has a beautiful shaped leaf. This one has great variegation on it. Still young, but those leaves are starting to mature. And like I said, this is the Florida Beauty tortum. There's also the Florida Beauty Mayoi, which I also have. Not as beautiful of a leaf shape, in my opinion. There's also, at least rumors of Florida Beauty crossed with the Golden Dragon out there, and I haven't seen one yet. But if I ever do, I would love to add that to the collection. I love the Golden Dragon. Um, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more on their way around as as the days go by. People are crossing these philodendrons over and over again. Some are winners, some are losers, but this is one of the winners for sure. I love the leaf shape on this, and so that's why we'll put this one at number 8 on our list of rarest philodendrons. All right, next up on our list at number 7 is a philodendron that I have only seen one time, and so I jumped on it as soon as I saw it. And it was sold to me as a philodendron Bilietier mint, and you can easily see the mint in there. It's some leaves are wider than others. Some leaves, like this leaf, is a dark green, almost like a dark form Billy. Um, I have another. This was the top cutting I took here, and this one is decent, and that one also decent. It's a very beautiful plant. If I was to rank these as favorites, this would be up higher. It's kind of hard to do it justice in video or picture. Just the actual pattern going on there. It's very pretty. I can't explain it, but I love the mintiness of it. It's not like a typical mint, like I'd say like a Monstera mint or something like that. Uh, it's just hard to describe, but it's one of my favorite patterns that I've seen on my philodendrons. I saw one other plant that was being sold as a philodendron Bilietier crossed with Adabapoense. Uh, Maybe I'm saying that right, maybe I'm not, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And that was also a mint pattern that looked very similar to this, and I only saw that one time, and it had already sold. I tried to talk to the person to see if they knew anything about this plant. They never responded, so didn't get anything out of it. If anybody has any clues or any ideas or any suggestions on the origin of this plant, if they've ever seen anything like it, definitely message me about it. I'd love to learn more about this plant. It's the only one I've ever seen. Like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful plant. And if this was on favorites, it'd be higher. But for rarity, we're going to keep this Bilietier Mint at number 7 on our list. All right, up at number 6 on our list is the Variegated Plowman. If you know Plowmanii, it gets very large leaves, and it also has that like white watercolored paint on it. Kind of hard for me to describe, but you see those white markings there, the same as Mame gets, and a couple others. It's very pretty, and that's standard on the Plowmanii. However, this one also has variegation going on in it. You can see with that leaf right there. It's also got a newest leaf coming out that's even, or will be even more variegated. And one thing I've noticed with this plant, I also have a larger cutting here. You can really see the variegation on this leaf. And this is just a mid cutting with the new growth growing right there. One thing I've noticed with this plant is as it ages, it becomes more variegated. These first leaves were not very variegated at all, and then they started to get a little variegation on this outside here, and then the newest leaf was pretty variegated, and then this newest leaf is going to be even more variegated. Maybe that's normal with the Plowmanii variegation, I don't know. If it is, I would expect this newest growth to not have much variegation, and then eventually hopefully it'll get to that beautiful, beautiful pattern there. When it first comes out, it'll be rather white, And then as it ages, it kind of fades away to a light green. But these get very large leaves, and I can't wait to see one of these sized up to a larger size. I think it'll be super, super beautiful specimen plant. I've already got this one. Roots are growing real well in here. I don't know if you can see, probably not. There's tons of roots in there already. I could cut this one and we'd have us a new little baby already if we wanted to. I'm gonna wait a little while. This one had some spider mites on it. I think you could probably see some of the damage from the spider mites. I've got them all taken care of, but I wanna let this one recoup a little bit before we were to chop, just because I wanted to have its strength back when we take her away from her mama. So this is number 6 on our list, the Variegated Plowman. All right, next up at number 5, we actually just mentioned it. It is the Variegated Philodendron mame. This is one of my favorite variegated plants. This one has great variegation on it. I told you it has that watercolor painted, wider, and you can see that right there. This one has a little bit more than the Plowmanii. Also doesn't get as large of leaves as the Plowmanii, but can still get rather large. And this one is already sizing up a good bit. You can see the first leaves it had, and this was the second newest leaf there, and you can really see the variegation starting to come in. This newest leaf is super variegated. Also, you can see the damage there. My fan fell and actually knocked a leaf off of this precious baby, and also tore this darn leaf right here. But what are you going to do about it? Actually, I did something about it. I moved my fan down to a lower level so that doesn't happen again. It's also starting to get the newest leaf growing there, coming out of the sheath. So we're excited to see what that newest leaf grows like. Maybe it'll be just as variegated as this one. I don't ever see these either on the market. Very rare plant, the Philodendron mame. I did see one more recently, so I bought it. And it was another littler Philodendron mame. I will say one difference I've noticed with this one to this one, as this one grows in, the variegation actually turns a brighter color, yellower color. You can see it right there as well. These are all hardened off leaves, and it's much brighter there than it is here. This leaf will actually brighten to a brighter yellow. With this newest one I got, I noticed that the variegation almost fades to a darker green, or more of a green color. This is the newest leaf here, and you can see it's rather light, almost the same color as the hardened leaves on this one. And the older leaves actually, see, this is a full half moon variegation here, but it's almost a light green. And I noticed that difference on this one compared to that one. Thought that was interesting. But nonetheless, Philodendron mame is a beautiful plant on its own. I think with this variegation, it's even more stunning. And I can't wait to size these up as well. This one's growing quickly, so we'll get some pretty big leaves off this one rather soon. And I hope we get a little bit more of this variegation where you've almost got that silver, that dark green, and this aria variegation, if you want to call it, in there as well. Beautiful plant. That's why we got it at number 5 on our list, and it's definitely one of my favorites. All right, up at number 4 on the list is a new Melanochrysum to the market. It's still very rare, and that is because of its coloring. This is the orange variegated Melanochrysum, and as this one puts out new leaves, it's very orange. I want to say I have 2 mid cuts here. I actually bought a large plant, and I will put a video of it down in the corner here. And it was absolutely beautiful. When I first bought it, I only bought it because it was popular, to be honest. And when it came in, the orange completely took me by surprise. Very beautiful plant. I now want to definitely keep one in my collection. As it ages, that variegation kind of turns to the white that you normally see. And this one has a bit of orange on it there, if you can still see that. But I'll show the video, like I said, and it's a beautiful orange. It's almost like a creamsicle orange, and it's very stunning. These are 2 mid cuts, and as you can see, they're both already popping new growth there. So we'll get to see some of that orange before too long, and I'll definitely show an update with the video on that once we start to get some new leaves coming out there. This one's still very hard to get and rather expensive. It is a decent grower though, so maybe the price on that will come down before too awfully long. I just know it's hard to get your hands on, and there's not too many of them, so possibly not. I don't really know. But it is a beautiful, beautiful plant, and because of its rarity, we've got it at number 4 on our list. All right, up at number 3 on our list, and we're starting to get really rare here, is another princess, and this is the white princess with aria variegation, and I think these are absolutely stunning. This is the top cut. It doesn't have too much white on it. There's a bit of white there. This was the newest leaf that was stunted when I cut. This is the second, or I guess this is the newest leaf now, and the aria hasn't burnt in yet, but it'll have a little bit of white on it. This is a beautiful, beautiful mid cutting, and it has so much of that white on it. And also this other side is aria, same with this leaf, just beautiful, beautiful white and aria coloring. And this one is already put out 2 growth points for us right there. So super excited. We should have a decent amount of cuttings. Actually, there'll be plants. There won't be cuttings available for sale at some point. I love this plant though, and it's very, very stunning in person. That aria really pops with the white, obviously on the dark green background. Can't say enough about this plant. It is one of my favorites, and we have 3 plants of this here, and hopefully more before too awfully long. But aria white princess, still hard to get your hands on, and hopefully we can get some more leaves with that really, really nice white coloring along with the variegation, because the aria variegation on this is just absolutely, it's everywhere. Don't really have to worry about this one reverting. We just want to get more of that white, uh, obviously white princess color that you see on this leaf right here. Hopefully we can get some more of that growing on a couple of these, but beautiful, beautiful plant. So we have the aria white princess at number 3 on our list. All right, up at number 2 on our list, and this is another princess, but I bet you can guess this one. This is the Fire Princess, and this is a newer, uh, I guess, version of the Pink Princess, and it's got aria coloring in it. It's also got aria that, I don't know, mixes with the pink maybe and makes a rather red color. And this is just a beautiful plant. This is an offspring of a couple of the other ones that I've had in former videos. This is another plant here. See if I can show you. One of the newer leaves there. That's a beautiful, beautiful leaf. And this is just a stunning specimen. I have heard a lot of people give a lot of flack about the price of them, which is understandable. Also, they say it looks kind of like a strawberry shake, or I've heard some people say it just kind of looks like a burnt pink princess. I can attest that this is definitely, definitely not the case. This is a completely different plant. If you see one of these in person, you'll know what I mean. I have sold these to a couple people, and when they've sold them in person, they have literally said their mind's blown. I'll actually show you a picture right now. This one just went to a lady this week, and she is in love with this plant. It is a beautiful specimen of a fire princess, and I've noticed that with the fire princess, the more light you give this thing, the better those colors are going to look, and the longer they're going to burn in. Some of these newer ones, they just have relatively green leaves, and I would say that's because they didn't have enough light. If I continuously give these things light, I'll show you this newest leaf. I just burnt the crap out of this thing, and it looks beautiful. This one I also gave a good amount of light, and it's doing the same thing. And as you can see from that video or that picture, I also have another picture I'll show here of another larger plant that I had that was just the best looking fire princess I've ever seen. I gave them tons of light, and they stayed with that color. It never faded to a green, and it was super, super beautiful. Some of the best fire princesses I've honestly ever seen. Hopefully we can get a couple of these to look the same, but just nothing like a strawberry shake. Trust me, you see these in person, the different colors that are on these things is just wild. There are so many colors, so many oranges, reds, pinks. I've even saw hints of like almost like a mint green on some of the leaves. You also got those yellows. It's just a ton of colors. Literally looks like it's on fire, and it's a beautiful, beautiful plant. I know the price is pretty steep on these, but it is a beautiful plant. Don't get me wrong. That's why the Fire Princess is number 2 on our list. All right, and last but not least, at number 1, we have a philodendron I doubt you've ever seen or probably ever even heard of. This is a white knight variety that I came across from a lady who I traded the beautiful, beautiful larger specimen of the Fire Princess I just showed you to for this plant. This is what she labeled as a quadricolor white knight, and I won't be able to do you too good here. I'll show you videos uh, just in a second. This is a white knight that has the white, the red you can see there, and also aria variegation, and all of that burns in as these leaves age. This is truly a unicorn of unicorns when it comes to the philodendron class, and it is a beauty, and it's already rather large. Newest leaf coming out there. We've already got good aerial roots coming in on this plant as well, so we'll definitely be propping this thing at some point. But for now, I just want to enjoy this thing. It's decently new to the grow room here, and I just want to take some time to appreciate it. We definitely want to try and work on encouraging a little bit more white on that. As you can see, that white right there is just a stunning leaf with that red. If we could get a little bit of aria variegation on top of that, I mean, holy cow, that would be a masterpiece. Some of these newer leaves that you can see as well are very, very red, dark red. And that aria you can see on some of the leaves a little bit lower there. That'll burn in with time. And I'm thinking in this higher light that I'm giving it, you're really going to keep that red a good bit with the aria as well. And I think that'll look absolutely beautiful. As you can see, though, this is a super large plant. For a unicorn like this is a rather large plant. And so hopefully with enough cuttings, we'll be able to get some more white variegation on this white knight. But this is a truly magnificent specimen. I can't believe I'm lucky enough to have this in my collection. This is very, very rare. Very rare. I would imagine there's maybe 5 to 10 of these out there. And I got one. I did have to give away a beautiful Fire Princess for it, but very, very lucky to have this. So thank you to the lady that traded it to me. And so that is why this one is, because of its rarity, because it's never really been seen out there. This is number 1 on our list of rarest philodendrons in the collection. All right, guys, that is going to do it for our rarest philodendron in the collection video. As always, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. We recently passed 1,000 subscribers, which literally blows my mind. I never thought I'd have more than 5 or 10. I was just doing this to prove to my daughter that if you wanted something, go out there and do it and see what happens. And so I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for that. It means a lot to me. I'm happy you guys really enjoy the collection. We have an Etsy site if you want to purchase any plants or just talk to me about plants. Feel free to do that on Etsy at Green Chick Gardens. And other than that, guys, I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you next time at Green Chick Gardens.